Okay, this video is just going to be some side notes about timpani as far as how it relates to us with repair. There's a 5-part series of videos that you can watch on how to change a timpani head. Here I have one of the old beat up timpani Renton School District donated to us a couple years ago. This is beyond repair, which is why they donated it to us. But a couple things I wanted to point out. If you run into a school timpani that has these kind of tension rods or tuning lugs, you want to talk them into getting these. Because what happens is the kids, when they walk by, they turn all of these, and then that screws up the tension on the drum head, and then it's not going to sound very good. By the way, the timpani, those are the pitch drums. So this drum here is a 26-inch drum, and I have a total cheat sheet here. 26-inch drum plays a range of an A to an F, but the note that we tune this to would be B flat. So this yardstick was actually given to me by Aaron Moss. You're going to see his timpani PowerPoint from Sacramento. He's got a lot of great information. He teaches the band instrument repair program in California that's at the high school level. And he's a percussionist, so he's got a lot of information. He's actually got a book on percussion repair that Napper is now selling. So he gave me a bunch of stuff to teach percussion repair, and this I thought was super handy. A lot of times you need to order a new timpani head. A yardstick's a great way. You have to measure to go, okay, how big of a timpani head do I have to get? The other thing you can get is a piece of vinyl. And this is real easy to store. You don't have to worry about carrying around a yardstick. And I have this, you can borrow it or make your own while you're here. But 32-inch, 29-inch, 26-inch, 23. So those are your basic sizes of drums that are out there as far as timpani go. And then you can copy down, this is how he has this. Actually, to measure this, we're going to need to take the drum head off. But I did want to make this very clear. These are really old school and they're big temptation for kids. So you don't see these on the college sets of timpani or the professional ones. These you would have to order, I think, from Ludwig. And there's a special drum key for the timpani lugs. It's bigger than your snare drum keys. And this is a super expensive key. It's like $60. So when I was a band director, this key stayed with me. I did not give this out to the percussionists because they would lose it. They lost their drum keys all the time, so they would lose this, and this is too expensive for them to lose. So I already loosened this, but when you go to unscrew, you of course want to crisscross or do 2 across. You don't want to just go all the way around, and that will be the same when you put on a new head, as you will see in that video. Take that off. You would of course wipe all this down, get all the dust out. If there's anything that has managed to get in through these holes, you would want to vacuum that out. And then this is the point where we can measure just to make sure. So 24-inch. And I'll show you how that looks with this guy. So, head, rim, remove timpani head, place arrow on the outside, flush with timpani head rim. So we're in between 24 and 25. So there you go. One thing, quite honestly, if you get to do any kind of percussion repair, you're probably being sent out to the school to do it. These are really hard to transport, and your road guy doesn't have room for them in his van. So there might be a day that you get to go do percussion repair. Quite honestly, we don't do a whole lot of percussion repair. It's mostly changing heads. Some of these timpanis are made out of fiberglass. This one's not, it's metal. I'm not sure if it's straight copper because most school districts can't afford copper kettles, but know that colleges tend to have them. if you want to do some dent work, make sure you're charging for it. The only good way to go about it, and this metal is super, super tough, so I would unscrew and remove this whole thing. This mechanism will adjust the tension on the head because it's connected to where the lugs are. This is a really old school mechanism. But that adjusts the tension on the head to get you your different pitches. I would get that out of the way before I would go in and start hitting. And honestly, you're not going to be able to make this perfect. We don't have any tools to make it perfect, but you could get some of the big dents. And it's loud, and you have to use a lot of force because this metal is super, super thick. So I would take this out, but just for the sake of showing you the screw. So that's round-ish. You might be able to get like a piece of thick wood to kind of round that out. Same thing here. And again, I really should take this out to really get at this. And I should probably at this point be wearing hearing protection. But you get the point. Dent repair, just to get that moderately shaped round. Kids, honestly. So you clean off this, you put on the new rim. You're going to watch the video to go over how to do that because the other videos do a much better job. But I just wanted to point out a couple things, especially with the tuning lugs, the drum key, and then there's a couple, you can make this tool if you want while you're here, if you think you're going to be doing a lot of percussion repair. Again, percussion repair is kind of rare in our field. A lot of times band directors do this kind of stuff on their own. So, timpani.